Hey, this is your angel coach, Dr. Eve Angel Savage, over at Audacity Group Social Enterprise, where we help individuals to identify, initiate, and implement their very best plans for business from an angel investment perspective. So today, I just wanted to shout out to everyone to be careful about how you cultivate your garden. And the reason why I'm saying that is because today is National Weed Your Garden Day. Yes, it's hey, Weed Your Garden Day. But I want you to be careful how you weed that garden, because we're responsible for cultivating our businesses, and therefore we must sow, right? We sow into our businesses and we cultivate. But guarantee you, there are going to be some weeds that's going to come up with those seeds when they start to sprout. It's just a natural process, right? The weeds could be doubt, could be fear, could be people, could be spectators, could be a number of things. But the one thing I want to assure you is this: do not weed out your garden too soon, because you never know where it's going to take you, and you could affect your harvest. You could paralyze your harvest in the process. So what I'm trying to say is to be very mindful that the weeds are going to grow, that they don't have to stifle you, because you can be aware of what's going on. You can be aware of those who are around you who don't mean you any good, or you can begin to identify those things in yourself that may even be stifling your growth as well. Because as we grow as leaders, we grow ourselves too. We grow in our personalities, we grow in our leadership, we grow in our understanding, we grow in our knowledge. And so those are the seeds, that's the knowledge base that we gain, and then we make those deposits back into other people. That's what we sow into our business as we cultivate. So be mindful, though, that the weeds will come. I reflect back on how many people that I was sowing into maybe a year ago, and it was almost like, so many of them, but many of them were not. I wasn't sure why they were there, or whether I was even making a difference. But it wasn't that I wasn't making a difference. It was that I needed to grow in my process. Self-mastery is a very important thing. And so I had to grow in my process. It wasn't the people that I was around or that I was associated with. It was more like I needed to grow in what God would have me to do. He did not want me to go down that path. It wasn't what he wanted me to do. So in order to stand out from the crowd, we have to follow that narrow path that God will have us to go. And I believe that I'm there now. I believe that, I was so married to it at the time. And one thing I know about research is you cannot be married to your topic, because it always changes depending on what you're researching. The same with business. And so, yes, the weeds were there, but the weeds were more like my fear, more like my doubt, more like a lack thereof. And so I had to grow in my processes, and I did. And remember this, that you don't want to pull the weeds up too soon, because if you pull them up too soon, then you will paralyze your harvest. And so I didn't pull them up. I just kept sowing and sowing and sowing and sowing and sowing. But eventually God, he gave me direction. He gave me clarity and understanding as to what it was he wanted me to do. And so he bundled up he would have me to bundle it all up, which was the weeds that were going to stifle me if I didn't follow his command. And I bundled it all up and put it to the side to be burned. And then I pulled up my harvest, which was what God wants me to truly be doing, right? So I burned up the old things, and out came that beautiful harvest. So I thank God for the harvest on today. And I'm excited because it was a revelation for me to understand that and why, what's up with these weeds? But the weeds are more about the way I saw things. And so I thank God for his clarity and his vision for me, and understanding that process, and that how that is explained as it relates to my situation. Because for everything that we go through, there is a divine answer. So I thank God for the answer that he gave to me about the weeds in my garden. And so I have a clear garden now, and I thank God for that, because I'm on a path where I'm developing my ebooks. I'm coaching from an angel perspective, which is what I was doing before I even started the for-profit business in the nonprofit industry. That's what I was doing. I was scouting. I was, giving away, trying to find people and who I could give money to, or, sow a seed into. And so that's what I was doing all along. But yet I was trying to do, when I went into my for-profit business, I had a goal, but my objectives were not necessarily appropriate for reaching those goals. And so that was the weed. That was the weed that was stifling my garden. So I rolled them all up. And if you notice, things are a lot different. I don't do things the way I used to do them, because it wasn't working for me. Those were the weeds, that were stifling and that were not growing, and that was, causing my harvest to not be fruitful. So anyway, bundle it up, but don't bundle it too soon. Ask God for your help. Know where your help come from. And then at harvest time, you roll it all up in a bundle, leave it in the field, take your harvest, and you burn the field. Isn't that the way they do farming? It's an exciting thing when you can relate to things that way. They burn the field and get ready to prepare a new harvest. Prepare for a new harvest. So I thank God for that today, and that revelation in my life. And I encourage you to continue to empower yourself, continue to learn, find someone you can mentor with, get into these rooms, learn some things. There's a lot of people out here that are doing some great things, and God wants you to have your very best, because all we do is win, and this party, it just won't stop. Thank you, Pastor Damian Royal, for your blessings.